coaching staff with the DBs this year compared to last year? It just seems like with Lincoln Riley and the guys on offense, the defensive backs, just the changes that you guys have made in the offseason, that's really been one of the big talking points from today. And just what are the differences as someone who's been in that room that you've seen?
It's completely different. We brought in a lot of new players as well. It's not just all scheme. So I feel like the players are really buying in and stepping up and playing for one another. And we're being put in a position to make these plays and have the freedom to go out there and play fast. And that's really important, especially in the secondary.
Jamil, how would you grade the tackling this spring relative to maybe last year or even a year ago?
It's been better, for sure. We worked a lot of, we were very intentional on our practice tempo, whether it was a thud, whiz, live. So I think we've done much better. I think we had some live periods today in there somewhere where guys definitely was the first guy to the ball. And, I mean, we needed no more bodies, because they brought them down. So I think tackling has been much better. And I think that's also a component of getting bigger, getting stronger in the weight room this offseason. So all thanks to Rachel and her staff, and obviously Coach Wiley and his staff as well.
Jamil, what's the biggest difference between this year's defensive line and last?
Henny and Noah. All I got to say.
Jamil, what was this defensive install like for you guys? I know Coach Lynn said it was going to be really slow and kind of methodical. What was it like going through it this spring?
Yeah, it was definitely methodical for sure. He challenged us, especially I know for sure the back end. Those guys are so smart back there. The linebackers and on down to the defensive line. We have some smart guys all around defense. So he definitely challenged us to take in some new concepts here or there. But I mean, as far as the scheme, I mean that's a better question for Coach Riley or Coach Lynn. But we definitely have adapted to it well, and we appreciate having Coach Lynn here for sure.
For any one of you guys, just what's the confidence that you take away from this game to see the plays that you guys are able to make, and just the big stop that you had out there?
That's a standard. That's what we got to do as a defense: to take the ball away, create turnovers, get the ball back to the offense. But today it was the offense we was taking the ball away from. So that's a standard, though. 5 picks, that's a standard.
For any one of you, Coach Riley said that you all are playing with more togetherness and more unity compared to last year. What would you say is the biggest difference in the interpersonal relationships of the team?
Yeah, well, this spring I feel like we had a lot of people put down their egos. We really came together as a team, like even without the coaches, and really bought into each other. And I feel like throughout this whole entire spring, like whether it be new guys, old guys, young guys, like we all said, we're all the same. We have one common goal. Let's get after it every day. And I feel like that's been displaying on the field as well. And it's just going to continue to grow over the summer into the fall.
Kamari, you played on a defense last year that made a huge improvement. Looking at this defense, what are the biggest signs that an improvement is on the way as you look at this group?
We just got to buy into the scheme. I think that's the main thing. If the coach calls a bad play, we got to make it right. So everything falls on us as far as how the game goes. And even though they might make a bad call or something like that, it falls on us. So really just buying in as a defense and buying into the scheme, buying into the plays that's being called, and everyone knowing their role.
It just felt like the cornerbacks, the DBs in general, were just in consistently kind of better position today to make plays, and also just making one-on-one plays on the ball in general. What have Danton and Doug Belk just kind of taught and instilled you guys through this spring that you feel like is putting you guys in better positions to make those plays?
Well, yeah, we as DBs, we're all together all the time, meeting together and stuff. And so I feel like we're on one page. If I'm at corner, I have faith Kamari's going to be in the back end, and that's going to allow me to play confident and, maybe jump on the route or maybe be more aggressive and attack the ball. And so when it's like that, it's really fun to play defense rather than you having to worry about giving up the big play or giving up something. It's like you're able to go out there and be free and play. So that's been a big impact.
Jamil, can you discuss the difference in how you're feeling right now? Of course, still a long way to go, and you guys want to keep improving, but the feeling now compared to the second half of last season when there were a lot of frustrated feelings?
It's like night and day, but I think that's a huge testament to, first and foremost, God for keeping us here, keeping us healthy, allowing us to have this new rejuvenated defensive staff, having Coach Riley, to have the brains enough to be able to, think about us as a defense and continue to, give us the resources necessary for us to be better. And then, I think it just trickles on down to us trusting the process. But it's definitely a night and day feeling for sure. And like you said, we know it's a lot more work to be done. And I say it for myself, but I'm sure I can speak for everybody else. Like, it's almost like today wasn't good enough because it's like we're hungry. We're hungry for more. We're hungry for September 1st for sure. So we'll definitely be ready for that.
Jalil, how have you challenged yourself to grow as a leader, and which person or book has had the most influence on that growth?
Can you ask that one more time?
How have you grown as a leader, and which person or book has influenced that growth as a leader since last year?
It's a good question. I feel like I've grown a lot as a leader. There's definitely some things I could do better. Sometimes I forget, not really forget, but sometimes I gotta realize my leadership position. When it comes to learning how to handle certain situations or certain, people. And I think, it's definitely been a lot of books I've read that has helped, but I mean, two people for sure is my mom and dad. Having them present in my life, having them be able to, challenge me before I would ever be challenged by anybody here, I think that's definitely helped for sure.
Jamil, you said a few weeks ago, last year, kind of the weight size deficiency at times was the elephant in the room that you guys knew needed to be corrected. And now a few weeks, into spring, you see some of the physical transformation. You see today, the gaps in the run game being plugged up, a lot more pressure on the quarterback. Just how has that evolved and allowed you guys on the defensive line to play with more kind of confidence?
Yeah. We hear. We try to block the noise out, but I think that it would be very cliche for someone to say to don't listen to the noise, because I think at some point you got to realize, like, at the end of the day, you lace it up just like the person across from you laces it up. And I know me, and I know the rest of the defense. The whole too small comments and this and that. I mean, it's opinion, but we definitely take it with a grain of salt, and we choose to take that as a challenge and get better. And that's what we've done. Like I said, a huge testament to Coach Riley, giving us the resources to allow us to be better as a defense. Us as players have just bought in. Coach Wiley has definitely gotten us, on a nice plan. Rachel, obviously. So it's definitely taken a village, and like I said, we're excited to continue to get better.
Let's do one more.
Profit, have you ever taken 100 before? Have you ever taken 100 yards before?
I probably ran that long since my high school days at running back. So I was definitely gassed after that play, But
how did the conditioning program?
I hit 21 miles on that, so that's that off-season speed work. So that's good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, media.